seem to be the piano teaching and learning capital of the Southeast. We have a list of teachers, and I would guess, I haven't counted lately, we've probably got 90 names in the piano sections. Yeah. Officially, we've been going since the 7th of July, 1958. As I say that, it hits me what a long time that is. It's coming up to 55 years, and in this very premises. Although my mother started out in the corner to my right, surrounded by baby clothes, because she had rented this corner for £100 per annum, and we had for that the corner, the back office and the use of the kitchen, and I think that was pretty well that. All around us there would have been customers coming for babies' nappies, and when the door opened, as I remember my mother saying, it was a matter of great anticipation as to whether the person coming through would ask for Associated Board Grade 1 or a pair of baby's bootees. My mother was a teacher, and the shop where she used to get her music was under threat of vanishing because the building in which they traded was to be taken over by a kitchen equipment retailer, and the lady who sold my mother the music from which she taught somehow had the idea Mum would be rather a good seller of music. My father got drawn into it. He'd never thought of himself as a retailer, never, 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 and it was a big change in his mindset to work on selling products rather than designing them. And we had the opportunity to purchase this premises instead of being tenants. Of course, we were subtenants to start with, then tenants, then we became property owners, and we bought the premises for £8,000, and these were the heady days of the 60s, when music retailing was very different from the way it is now. There must have been some photocopying, but somehow it didn't seem to impinge. People only thought in those terms, I guess, if they'd suddenly got to produce multiple copies. Other than that, of course you went to your local retailer. We were that local retailer. Really, there wasn't competition in those days. It became apparent that what we needed to major on was what other people were not majoring on, and that was the sheet music, the dots on the paper, which was indeed Mum's and Dad's first love. Dad loved catalogues. He was a most remarkable man, an engineer by profession, but a musician by inclination, and catalogues was something that fascinated him. And so he did research by the hour and built up card indexes, which we still use to this day. This is a bit of a thorny subject. We only really began to feel it, I guess, when increasing numbers of customers, on being told that we hadn't got what they wanted, said, "Oh, I'll get it online." And I perceive that the reason for this is more and more the speed of obtaining the music. In this speed-ridden world, everybody wants everything yesterday, even more than they did. And with music, it's always been slightly a case of that. There's usually an emergency, like someone's lost their exam music, or can't find the piano part for a piece they're trying to play in a concert that evening, that kind of thing. But sometimes even we were not able to do it, and in that case we heard the dread words, "I'll get it online," more and more frequently. And indeed, there is no way we can tap into this technology. We did try a website of our own. Oh, how we tried. We spent a year slogging away, building up an interactive site. We had this dear lady, Helen, who slogged away putting data in so that it could be truly interactive, keeping up with the weights of the goods and the postage, charges, and it was really very wearing indeed, but we seemed to have got somewhere, launched it with a great tarantara, and not very long afterwards it was hacked into and rendered useless, and our host was hacked into as well. So we decided to cut our losses and go for the traditional routes, mainly word of mouth. Would you believe? It's still largely word of mouth, people tell people. And we do have an email address, And that's used by our loyal teachers, a number of loyal teachers who come back again and again. Music please on the site. The range of customers we get, some who can barely see over the counter, and some who are even older than I am, and it's great. But I would say principally it's harassed mothers whom we get. And this is brilliant because it reflects the number of enthusiastic children who are learning music. I began as a 12-year-old in a nylon overall, sweeping the floor and muddling up the change. And as I'm rather prone to tell people, here I am all these years later, no nylon overall, but I am still sweeping the floor and muddling up the change.